The goal is to get married. I looked at him and I'm like, he's the one. No engagement ring. So where are you and Charlie going to live? Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here for the long-awaited long-distance relationship Q&A and update. My name is Sydney if you're new here, and if you're not new here, then welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here. I know that it's been a good 2 to 3 months since I have posted on YouTube, and that is simply because life has been crazy, things have been changing, and I'm here to update you all on all of that. So, a little bit of background before we get started, and if you are new here, I am currently living in the United States. That's where I was born, that's where I'm from, and my boyfriend lives in the UK, so he's British, and we've been together for almost 7 years now. I am 22 years old and he's 23 years old, and we are both in our last semester of university. So things are going to be changing really quickly. It's time to make some decisions, and we're finally in the place to kind of talk about closing the distance after 7 super long years. So I'm really excited to update you guys, and you guys have been asking over on my TikTok and my Instagram so many questions, so let's just get started. So I'll start with a little bit of advice. Someone said, I'm really struggling with long distance. What is one thing that you tell yourself that helps? So the biggest thing that I tell myself, and I've talked about this time and time again, is that this is temporary. We're not going to be in long distance forever, and that our time apart is not wasted. We're both able to develop our careers and learn and grow as individuals, so that way we can be better when we do come together, because I would hate to just rush this whole process and us move and then not have any idea what we're doing for our jobs. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is just looking forward to the future and knowing that we are doing everything that we can right now to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for a great future together. So then the next question was, how was having Charlie visit? So I didn't post anything about it here on YouTube, or I guess I did do some YouTube shorts. I don't know if you guys even see those, but I posted a lot more about it over on TikTok and Instagram, so if you want to head over there, you can see. But Charlie did just leave after a month-long visit here. He hasn't been here in 2.5 years. I went there and then our borders were closed, so he hasn't been able to come here. So it was absolutely amazing having him visit, especially during Christmas time. If you guys have been following our journey since 2015, you know that we do normally spend the holidays together, but not actual Christmas. He normally comes the day after, on December 26th. And so having him here on December 20th, and then all through the holidays, and then after for 2 whole weeks, because we both got COVID, and he had to stay longer, which was a blessing in disguise, because we weren't very sick. Having him stay longer, it was just amazing. I love having him here with my family. I think that it was very different this time for him to come, because we are both in a very different point of our lives than he was last time he came. So last time he came, he was just starting university. I had just transferred to online school, kind of figuring out what I was gonna do. And so having him here now at the end of our college career was really nice, because he was able to see like, oh, could I see myself living in America and all that kind of stuff. So I'll talk more about that later. Overall, it was absolutely amazing. We had so much fun. He got to see all my family. It was just perfect. The next question is, do you know when you'll see Charlie next? So yes and no. So I'm doing an internship right now, and then I will graduate in May, and depending on if I'm working full-time and where I'm working, I hope that I will have time to see him in May. I really want to go after I graduate and after all of my friends graduate. So ideally, like the 3rd week or last week of May would be our ideal time to come go see him, and then we're hoping that I could stay there for about a month or so, and then he could come back here with me and spend about a month or 2 here in America, because he hasn't been had an American summer in over 2.5 years. So that'd be absolutely amazing. That's our plan, but it's all contingent on what our work situation looks like then and what everything. So a lot of it's up in the air, but we are gonna book something soon, and then we can always change it if we need it, or if I have to be working remotely while I'm there. That's just what I have to do. But yeah, so hopefully in May, which now is February, so only 3 more months, which is so great. It's so much better than the 500 days I had to wait last year. The next question is, how do you manage the time difference with Charlie? So as I said, I'm in the US, I'm in the central time zone, and then he is in the UK, obviously. So we have a 6-hour time difference. Our biggest thing is just we have to make time for each other. So even if it's just like a quick 5-minute call on our way to work or on our way to class, a little time of talking is better than none. But then I've always been extremely blessed and spoiled that Charlie always wakes up at 10 p.m. my time, which is 4 a.m. his time, to talk to me, even if it's just for a few minutes before I go to bed. And I know that's not what everyone does, so I would not recommend that because it really ruined your sleep schedule. But when I was in high school, when we first started dating, that was the only time that I was home because I was busy at school, and then I would go to dance class, and then I'd go to my dance competition team, and then I would get back super late at night. So that was the only time we could talk. And now he's kind of like adapted to that time, and so we always talk at that time, which is probably bad, and I've tried to pull him away from it, but he's like, no, I like talking to you then. So yeah, but now that we both have a little more freedom in our schedules because we're not going to school all day every day, we do try to talk. But the biggest thing that we do to handle the time difference is just a little time is better than no time, having that mindset, and being like super open with each other too, like being like, hey, I really need to get this paper done, I'll talk to you later. And like understanding that each other is busy and we each have our own lives is really important. My camera's about to die, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the juiciest questions of them all. Obviously, since I've been with Charlie for almost 7 years now, the goal is to get married and close the distance and everything. So someone asked, how did you know Charlie was the one? And I think this question is so cute. The general answer is just that anyone that's willing to fight for you and fight for your relationship and to stay in your life for this long and with these circumstances, literally through a pandemic, I think that just shows that they're the one, like they love you so much. But then I don't know if there was an exact moment that I knew because we've been together since I was 15. And so I don't know if there's an exact moment where I was like, oh, he's the one, or he did something and I'm like, oh, he's the one. It's just been like a progressive thing. Like over time, I'm just like, this is what I want. This is who I want. But I do remember one time I was going to pick him up from the airport and we got stuck in traffic. And so he was already out, like had his bags, and he was just sitting in the terminal. And I walk in and I see him sitting there, and I don't know why this is so like stuck in my brain, but I remember being like, he's the one. Like I looked at him and I'm like, he's the one. And that's just such a sweet moment, and I always like tell him that, and he's like, you're so cheesy, but that's how I knew. So cute. I got a lot of questions about engagement and marriage updates. So it says, when do you want to be engaged? And then another person said engagement or a marriage update. So I've been waiting for a ring, ladies. Like, not there yet. I have so many cute little Pandora rings, but no engagement rings. So Charlie, I'm just kidding. I don't want to be engaged until we actually have a plan to like move in and like end the distance, because I don't really want a terribly long engagement. I don't want it to be super short, but I don't want a terribly long engagement either. So I'll kind of answer this and then go into the next question because it kind of goes on to that, because so many people said, where are you and Charlie going to live? Closing the distance, who's moving where? Are you going to move to the UK? Is Charlie going to move to the US? So to answer this all in one, this is kind of our plan. Contingent on who gets a job where, what that looks like in another like 5 months from now. Goal for right now is to hopefully be like permanently moving somewhere or start the process of moving somewhere and like the visas and everything by 2023. And I'm 90% sure that that's gonna be in the US. Unless something like, I'm still open to opportunities and open to like new doors opening for us. And like if something like presents itself in the UK that I feel like I need to go, then I will definitely do that. I mean, I'm just gonna follow like God's plan for us and God's path for us. But I really do believe that he will be coming here in the US. I have a bigger family. There are a lot of opportunities, like a lot of places that we can live and a lot of places that we can travel. And I just think it makes more sense that way. We're definitely gonna get married in the US. So if our goal is to be married in 2023 or start that process in 2023, because we don't want to be pushing it off too far and get too established in jobs in like other countries, that will still leave us with a whole year of working, which is good, and establishing our careers and experiences. So then when he moves here, he can get a good job. But for engagement, I don't know. I always say this, but I would like to be, like, I'm open to being engaged at any time. I'm ready right now, but I do want to have a plan. So our goal is to kind of just wait until we graduate, see where our lives are at that point, and then make a final decision. I'm not opposed to going over there for a few months at a time, or him coming here for a few months at a time, especially because I do work remotely, so I can do that while I'm there. So really the world is our oyster, and we're really excited about that, but I would like to be engaged hopefully by the end of the year. I'm just gonna put a cap on that, but really I want to be engaged this summer. Charlie, if you're watching this summer. I'm just kidding, but I have been looking at rings, and we've been like having more conversations about actual life together and not just like dreaming about it, because we've talked about it for a really long time, but I think now it's like settling in because we're like 22 and 23 and we're gonna graduate, we're gonna have our degrees and things like that, so it's definitely more in the conversation. But if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe and then follow all my socials, because there's so many updates that are gonna be coming just within the next like few months in our relationship, and I'm just so thankful for each and every one of you. I think it's so sweet when one of you comment on my my TikToks about how you've been following us since 2015, and here I am like 7 years later and finally able to deliver some sort of news to you, and it just makes me so happy. I have chills right now. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for sending me those questions and being interested in my life. It's so crazy. If you have any more questions about this, leave them in the comments. Nothing's being too like nosy. Like, I love talking about this kind of stuff. If you're in a long distance relationship and you're looking for some support, feel free to message me on Instagram. I like making it really personal, so if you can just send me a DM, I'll try to respond to it. I do get quite a few DMs about this, so yeah. But be sure to check out the other long distance videos on my channel. Subscribe to stay along for this journey, because things are looking up and things are changing, and I'm so excited, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!